tears of joy, crocodile tears, tears of sadness because your brackets are busted. These are some of the tiers we talk about. Tonight, we're talking about wide receiver tiers in the rookie class. Producer, hit that button. Welcome to another edition of the Dynasty Pulse, right here on the Fantasy Sports Advice Network and 105.1 talking West Tennessee. We got all the boys in the building except for the coach. I am bigz. Grindberg is down there. Schultzy's on the ones and twos. Chev, GPT, Bodak, Boobiak is in the building. And we are here to talk not about Virginia Commonwealth beating North Carolina and destroying everybody's bracket but Schultzy's. We're not talking about the fact that McDonald's dropped the ball when they didn't collab with Arch Manning for the big Arch rollout. We're here to talk about wide receiver tiers in Dynasty in the rookie class. How are you fellas doing?
Oh, man. Chev pulled up and it got us all excited. He said he was running late, but he's now on time, and it was great. We were starting the show and he pulled into the stream. So, yeah, man. Things are aligned tonight, and we're aligned to give our viewers the tiers of this rookie wide receiver class. Chev, Bodak, Boobiak. What is up?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I never pull out of anything. That's why I had 3 kids in 2.5 years. Beyond that, just thrilled to be here. I would just like to just throw a little bit of American shade. What the hell is even a Commonwealth? So I don't know what.
It's kind of like a province.
Yeah. See what is even that? That's too close to Canadian talk for me, and I don't like it.
Or a parish. Okay.
Yeah. Don't like that either. All right. France. You take your fries and you go home. Shut up about it. Wow, the edible kicked in early tonight.
Yeah, you guys are bringing the heat. I guess you guys are ornery. Got a lot going on in your country.
I'm in the best mood ever, and I'm hoping that I can hold this together and give you coherent thoughts for 45 minutes.
I can't wait. Chev is riled up. Schultzy, how are you doing on this fine evening?
Well, bigz alluded to it. I'm putting him on blast. We jump in pre-show. And we're talking tournament, and I said, let's go VCU. I picked him here, and he told me I was an idiot.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
The truth was more of like, I don't know, man. North Carolina is a pretty good powerhouse. Something like that.
All right. Well, that is awesome. I mean, it's March Madness. Apparently, I've been educated today on that from the NCAA tournament, which I've also been educated on. So it is a great day for me as a Canadian, and I'm learning all about what March Madness is all about. I'm just joking. I know all about it. And let's talk about what we're here to talk about, and that's the wide receiver tiers. And we're going to break it down. We're going to bring back the crossfire segment from the offseason where we tiered our running backs, our wide receivers, and our quarterbacks and tight ends. Now today we're going to talk about this rookie class, and we need to settle some dust here. So each host takes a turn nominating a wide receiver for a specific tier, and the next host will react whether they agree or not, and then we'll move quickly through the next one. But we will also include the tier break as a selection. So if you want to break the tier, you can use that as your pick. And you also have a big time move. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it a big time move. No, we'll call it. What did we call it the last time? It was the. Does anybody?
Wait a minute.
The flatline. We have to flatline it. Yeah, I'm a little rusty.
I can scream flatline at bigz a bunch. This is gonna
be we're gonna. I'm assuming it's gonna happen quite a bit tonight. I can't wait. So we each get a flatline where we can dispute another co-host take and or add another guy to the tier. So we're gonna get it started here. Schultzy, you want to bring up the screen? We'll get the tier going. Tier
Nobody
1.
asked me how I was doing.
you are the intro man. You know how we're doing. You're the guy that you're not feeling well. You're under the weather. You're wearing red. And what else is going on?
Nothing. I'm fine.
All right. So tier 1 is the pulse setters, guys that would have elite traits that will dominate with either size, speed, hands, route running. The guys that have those traits that we're looking for. Tier 2 is rocket fuel, high upside wide receivers, starter potential, maybe less polished in some areas. And we have the Flashpoint wide receivers that, there are traits to watch. They may be a little bit shaky in some areas. The flatliners are tier 4 guys that, might bring some potential. They're going to have to bring some draft capital or something that are going to have to head their way. But they are guys that we like some of their traits and are willing to take some late round stabs on them. And then we got the dead weight guys that I guess at this stage are really just flag plant guys that we're trying to hit the upside on. So let's get it started here. Let's start with tier 1. And who's our first nominee on the board here? Let's bring that down here. And then I think it was Schultzy in the action here. Yeah, I think it is Schultzy. Schultzy, who are you going to talk about first in tier 1?
Okay, well, let's just start off with Makai Lemmon, man. Talked about him a little bit here, but what's there not to like here? I think this is a very complete receiver. He's going to be win in a bunch of ways. He can win after the catch. He can win at the catch point. He's great. He great versus man in zone. He posted 3+ yards per route run in both coverages. Led the class in yards per route run this year. We've got a lot of similarities. People have talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown. What's there not to love here, man? I think Makai Lemmon's a slam dunk in tier 1.
Love it. Sorry, I put you on the spot there because coach is not here tonight, and sorry about that, buddy. Hopefully you're doing well. But you get the first swing at the jug here. Now, bigz, what do you got to say about Makai Lemmon? Are you agreeing on this take here? I mean, this tier here to me is 3 or 4 deep, depending on who you ask, and I think it's 4. Bigz, what are your thoughts on Lemmon, and does he belong in this tier for you?
Absolutely, best hands in the draft. Love it.
Awesome. Yeah. We're probably not going to need to spend a whole lot of time in this upper tier. Let's get on to your guy there, Bigz. You're next on the chopping block here. Who is a guy that you want to see in this number 1 tier?
Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State. I got bars. Yeah, you watch him play on the field, and he looks like he belongs, and he's going to excel at the next level. So, love me some Ohio State wide receiver pipeline.
Love it. I mean, I love the pick. Can't believe this. Can't believe it. Yeah, he's incredible. I think this is going as chalk would go at this stage. So it's my pick up here, and then we'll finish off the next with Chev with 2 picks. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna put.
I know what you're doing.
You know what I'm doing here? Okay.
I know what you're doing.
What am I doing here, Chev?
Omar Cooper.
No, I am not putting
You're
Omar
not?
Cooper there. No. I don't think he's in tier 1. I don't think he's there. But okay. I do think Jordyn Tyson has got a lot of those metrics that would put him in a tier 1 kind of position here. So he's a guy for me that, yeah, certainly I think, the injuries aside, he dominated Arizona's offense in 2025. Even though he's injured, 61 receptions, 711 yards, but his real big breakout obviously happened in 2024. He's got elite size. He's got great speed combo, outstanding contested catch and catch radius, and the twitches releases. So I think he's going to be a deep threat and a red zone threat, and a guy that obviously with some injury history, I think he's going to maybe get suppressed a bit, but I think a team's going to be really high on him, and I think he deserves to be in tier 1. What about you guys? Who's next? Chev, what do you think about Jordyn Tyson being in tier 1?
I mean, this is if we don't goldfish brain and we remember, you know, the season, the college football season from basically late September into early November, this was everybody's wide receiver one. I mean, it's just the repeated injury history. Not even that he's not even the fact that he's not like a very, very, very good player. It's just the repeat. He missed 48% of his college games. And now we're transitioning to the men's league where, you know, you have to be ready to go. Like the demand is that you're available. Your best ability is availability. But in terms of talent, he's the wide receiver one. In terms of ceiling, you know, ceiling outcome, I think his ceiling is higher than the other receivers. But I know Carnell. I know if I get Carnell Tate, I feel like I'm getting at bare minimum a guy who's the 1B in a target share and could potentially go higher. So I agree. I like this. This is the tier one. I have been here for a while. Obviously, order it, choose your own adventure, but that is exactly how I would have tier one here.
100%. And let's remember that in the 2024 season at Arizona, Jordyn Tyson, talent-wise, led the Sun Devils with 75 catches, 1,101 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He's got it all. He just needs to stay on the field.
So is this a safe space?
Yes, I hope so.
The safe word is nipple chain.
Is that hyphenated? Hyphenated or just one?
One. It's connected. It's
like
it's one chain.
Maybe.
Well, it's connected by a chain. Yeah, of course. So I love Jordyn Tyson. The way this guy moves in the short area of the field, I think he has absolute superstar potential. We've hit on that. Now the injury stuff, I'm not gonna knock anyone for saying that, right? Fast forward last summer, I was concerned about Chris Olave, and I was told over and over again, you can't be worried about injuries. You got to chase ceiling, right? Because if the injuries, you can't predict it, and if it doesn't happen, the value is baked in, and you're going to be riding high. And Jordyn Tyson screams that to me. If he slips to wide receiver 3, I think wide receiver 3, Jordyn Tyson is going to be a slam dunk pick. We're going to be talking about that one for years to come. How did we let this guy drop to wide receiver 3?
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can stay healthy, I mean, it's to me, the problem for me is those soft tissue injuries in college. We talked about that a little bit with our past friend Marcus from previous shows, bigz in the forecast. But I've had conversations with Ben, from Dynasty Gambit and the Devi Dojo, and he's talked about those soft tissue injuries in college are a big red flag. So if you can get past that, then I'm all in. But yeah, he's probably worth a shot if he's fading at the wide receiver 3 because of the talent, in my opinion. That's kind of where I'm safe taking him at, and that's why I'm there with him. I got these other 2 guys ahead of him because of that. But, there's a lot of smart guys in this industry that have Jordyn Tyson as their number 1, and they're not worried about his injury history. So,
yep.
All right, Chev, it's you. Are you taking a tier break here, or are you going to add somebody to this?
Absolutely not. Let's start the new tier and let's get it going.
All right. So are we unanimous with this? Are we going to let Chev waste a pick? Is anybody here? Because I would love to give you 2 players. And
no, then fine.
No. A tier break is kind of like a pick in the thing, right? So you could, but if we unanimously talk through it and say that's a unanimous tier break, then you don't have to waste a pick.
I have a tier break here.
This is it for me too.
Me as well. I know Coach would probably dispute this, but he's not here. So yeah, man, this is a tier break, and now Chev gets to talk about 2 of his guys. So that's why I was hoping that you could talk about 2 guys here. Chev.
Boy, y'all got me feeling like Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs right now.
Real hard.
Are we? Yeah, listen, I get to lead off the second tier.
You
First
do.
player, KC Concepcion.
All right, let's do it.
Producer, do it.
I'm getting them on there. Here we go.
Co-producer.
We've got a tag team the graphic today.
All right, we got KC on there. Now talk about him there, Chev. Why is he the head of the tier 2?
Why is he the head of tier 2, you ask me? Okay. I'll try not to get too excited like JoJo the Idiot Circus Boy with my new toy, but KC Concepcion has been one of the most productive wide receivers in subpar quarterback play situations. Even this year, where he had his career year, 65 catches, 919 yards, he was held back by Marcel Reed, who we have high hopes for, potentially, possibly, maybe, translating to the next level as a high-level athlete at the position that's learning how to play quarterback. In 2024, after the breakout season in his freshman year, where he was over 800 total yards and I believe 10 touchdowns,
Correct.
he suffered from awful. What the fuck?
Awful quarterback play is what he was going to say.
I don't know what just happened.
Your camera went out. We can still hear you though, Chev.
Okay, so I'm apparently. Oh, yeah. Hold on. we're about to give some racists some real fuel here. There we go.
There it is. He's back.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to edit out the F-bomb. I don't know what happened though. Like my lights just cut off.
We're all friends here. An F-bomb happens, and you know what? It's because of KC Concepcion. He gets us all excited.
Yeah, he's got me levitating above the cement aisle, watching NC State film, watching Texas A&M film, and just realizing that this is the type of profile that thrives in today's NFL. So we had the questions. I believe we had someone on the show that told me he was just a gadget guy before the season started, and that got debunked like a mug. So on top of that, we now see several different examples of wide receivers of this archetype succeeding. So for me, KC Concepcion, he's been my wide receiver 4 in the class. It just with the context of the situation, I mean, I think Mario Shavers is going to be a pro too, but having Carnell Tate in a wide receiver room where he's consistently competing for targets, earning targets, it felt a little disingenuous with the ceiling that Jordyn Tyson has as just as an athlete, being the overall wide receiver, when the production profile of Makai Lemmon, and then him taking a step forward and growing in terms of his versatility and ability and just production and winning the damn Bolitnikoff. I had to move KC out of that tier, but it wouldn't surprise me if we look back now and it's like, well, how did KC end up here? And then do you guys have anything for me in terms of rebuttals?
No,
I got time.
No, I mean, I think we all agree. I mean, I'm borderline putting them in tier 1 because of that. I think, he also is battling an injury right now, and he sat out his pro day from what I heard, right? So I mean, this could be something to monitor as well. So I think this is a great tier for him to start off and lead. So I have no rebuttals whatsoever. All right. So Chev, you got another guy here you could pick. Who you got for tier 2 as your, who is this your top 4 here right out of the board that you've seen?
Absolutely.
So now you're going to talk about your wide receiver 5. So this is an interest of me. So talk about your wide receiver 5 here.
Oh, okay. I'm going to talk about former Lawrenceburg North Star, Lawrence High School, Lawrence North Star, Omar Cooper, Indiana wide receiver, national champion, 987 yards, 13 touchdowns this past year. We have the alignment versatility. He was primarily an outside guy in 2024, put up 564 yards and 7 touchdowns with like 19 yards of reception. And then we have him coming out and dominating in the slot this past year, 3.15 yards per route run versus zone, is a little bit less than desirable against man, but I don't care, bro. Turn the tape on and watch him play football. That's what I default to. And when somebody shows they're good at American tackle football, I'm absolutely going to believe them. I mean, he would be good at Canadian tackle football too. So I mean, this is an international threat that we're dealing with.
International
assassin. A nuclear level assassin out of the slot. And I think that he's going to come into the league. Daniel Jeremiah referred to him as the Ramseyest receiver in the draft. But I think that this is just anyone who has a need for a guy who generates amazing yards after the catch. He's tough at the catch point. He blocks his butt off. I can't see Omar Cooper failing. I just see him being in situations where the only thing that could fail is the organization around him. If he's healthy, he's going to absolutely put some people on notice.
What about Gaelic football?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with what you're saying right now.
Gaelic
with
football.
The bread.
I highly suggest it. It is the partner to the sport of hurling in Ireland, and it's wild. What about Australian rules football?
Oh man!
I don't know. I don't know what is this. What is?
I do highly recommend Googling Gaelic football. It's amazing.
Right, well,
no pushback here.
I love this. I mean, he's my guy. I've been talking about him for a while here. I think that, after the combine and what I've seen from him in big moments, I think that he could, maybe garner first round draft capital. I think a team might actually make a stab on Omar Cooper in the first round. So I could see that happening, and that would make him, fall right in this range. I think we're just in that range here. So Omar Cooper is my wide receiver 5, and certainly in this tier. Absolutely. Schultz, you got anything to add to that? You got any rebuttals to Omar? You like him in this stage?
I have him at wide receiver 5 as well. I'm in lockstep here. Casey at 4, Omar at 5. I like it.
All right. I'm going to bring in my guy here first before I start talking about him. All right. Let's bring him on the stage here. And I'm going to talk about Denzel Boston. I think he certainly belongs in this tier. I had my doubts after him, skipping out on some of the testing at the combine, but his pro day certainly did well. And, he's got a great frame, 6'4", 212. He's that alpha wide receiver that Washington had in 2025. He led the team with 62 receptions, 881 yards, 11 touchdowns. I like what I see. Massive catch radius. He's great in those contested catch wins, 70% plus rate, and 11 red zone touchdowns. So he's going to be a threat in the red zone, a guy that is physical in run blocking. So he's going to find the field early. And I think if he can get first round draft capital, I think he is going to align really, really well in the NFL. That red zone bully production. He even has some special team upside, that speed, that size combo for outside work and the jump ball wins. I love Denzel Boston for that. And, I had him higher up in my rankings. I had him as my wide receiver 5 for a long time, but Omar Cooper just is a guy for me. I think he's going to translate really well in the NFL. I think he's going to find work really early, but that is not knocking Denzel Boston's upside. And a good landing spot and a bad landing spot for Cooper, I could see this being a very good switch for me. Bigz, what are your thoughts on Boston? I know you had him highly ranked. I think, didn't you have him as your wide receiver 3 or 4 or something like that? Yeah.
I have him as my wide receiver 4.
There you go. Okay, so I mean, you're obviously in agreement here. So talk a little bit more about Denzel and what you see in him.
He's a big body guy. He's a standard X receiver. He's healthy. He can play. He's going to be able to make an impact right away, just like all of these guys. And I feel like he's definitely a part of this tier. Big body guy, and I watch a lot of Washington football, and I really like watching him play. So it's, tape don't lie.
You know what I love about this class is that you got a lot of guys that are very similar in their way that they come out. Like you got the Coopers, the Concepcion style, and then you have the big body, tall X style wide receivers. You're going to have a lot of them coming out of here on the boundary. So I'm excited to see what your next guy is up here. And who do you think tiers in here? Is anybody, disputing Denzel Boston in tier 2?
No.
Absolutely not.
There we go. All right. It's you, bigz. Who do you got?
There's a standard that for fantasy purposes, rookie wide receivers, you want them to be drafted in the top 50. And there is a possible tier break here, but there's a wide receiver that right now, I don't think any of us have him in our rankings this high, but as of NFL mock draft big boards,
ready.
There's a dude who sits at number 51 in the total draft picture. So if a team pops him up a couple spots, I think Chris Brazell could be a top 50 draft pick, and that would be where I would put him, is in this tier, and then tier break.
This shit's gonna do it.
I really like Chris Brazell here, honestly. I think this is where I have him. I don't necessarily know if this is a tier break yet, but it is a pretty stout tier, this tier 2. Does he belong in this tier? And if he does, then we're probably going to have to extend this tier a little bit. And is it an elite tier? Does Brazell belong with the 3 here? Anybody rebuttaling this? Chev, you got something to say maybe here. It's a tough one, because do we want to make this tier locked in with, it could be a good spot for a tier break, but it Brazell, he brings some things. I was watching his tape the other day, especially in the red zone. This guy is a really good separator, and he's got the height. It's tough. And his dad played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, so even better.
There it is.
Canadian bias. I've got maple syrup running through my veins.
Yeah, this is strong for me.
Because we might have to extend this now, because
We for sure got to extend it now.
Yeah.
I got a guy I want in this tier still.
I too have a guy.
Yeah, I think it's okay to extend this tier, though. The only problem is that then maybe Concepcion and Omar are in their own tier. I don't know, but let's continue this ball rolling, because I think Brazell just made his case for tier 2. Now
I get the draft capital argument, but I'm just done with these measurable guys. Like, I don't want you to pop on my radar this late in the process. Like, I want already be liking you, and I want things to confirm for me. I don't want to just pop up and see some combine numbers and watch a guy work out and all of a sudden be in on him. So like, I'm just done playing the measurables, guys.
It's brother, if you grade to the flashes, it is very aggressive for Chris Brazell. Yeah, it is undeniable. I mean, he beat the Tennessee wide receiver allegations, with his film from Tulane. And then, this past year, they used a lot more condensed sets to where he wasn't just lined up on top of the numbers, damn near out of bounds. And it's aggressive, dude. If it hits, it's going to be, I'm saying this right now. I said this on Prospect Watch. If it hits, this is Brian Thomas Jr. redo.
And that's what we're kind of looking for here, is like, are we looking for the upside? And yeah, if he hits, he's gonna hit, and that's an aggressive hit. And if he falls, he's gonna be a bust. And that's kind of the fine line.
Well, if it doesn't hit, then he turns into, like Josh Reynolds or Tim Patrick. Right? So
yeah. Or a litany of 50 other wide receivers who are kind of in that tier in real life.
But this is the type of guy that has a long career, and you're like, oh, he's there. I remember So like that's in the range of outcomes, but the ceiling is ridiculously aggressive. And this is a guy that I hate watched the very first time I watched this film. I was looking for things to hate. I was really, 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 really trying. I hate the University of Tennessee. You know what I hate more than you know what I hate more than the University of Tennessee? Tennessee wide receivers in the NFL. Like, I don't enjoy what they do with their wide receivers, and it never works. But this is a guy where he's got more of the complete pedigree. I almost said the wrong ped word there, and it would have just thrown the whole deal off. But I would also like to say, sir, we have news that a second edible has dropped, so I am not responsible for the rest of what goes on tonight. So
bigz is on Sudafed, so he's out to lunch too. So we're in good shape.
I do want to throw a disclaimer out there to anybody who may be listening on 105.1 West Tennessee. Hopefully, y'all are University of Arkansas Jonesboro fans, or Razorbacks fans, or Memphis fans, and not UT fans. So we don't want to insult anybody, but there's a string of Tennessee UT hate in this building.
I do not care. I want you to know that I hate the University of Tennessee. Me, UPT, aka Bodak Bubiak, aka Chev Sanders.
Get out!
I hate the University of Tennessee.
Bring that.
Me and Clint Sterner will never forget.
Never, ever forget, dude. And F Clint Sterner too.
Yeah, he's tripped.
Fire show so far, boys. Okay, Schultzy, we're keeping Brazell in there because we want to make this interesting for our viewers. So, who do you got?
I think the BTJ stuff is on here. I can see some of that, and I think the interesting thing here is what's going to happen with BTJ. Right? Is it? Look, obviously, I was all in going into last year, and I'm going to be honest. I think I'm wrong on that. I think the rookie year was a flash in the pan. We racked up a lot in garbage time and just like target city. When now that we're in a real NFL offense, look what happened. We asked him to do real NFL stuff. Look what happened. So I don't know, man. But I do think like the measurables and the flashes we saw from Brian Thomas, I can see it.
And hopefully all of Brazell's close friends have strong mental health.
Yes. For me, I'm going to go Elijah Sarat in this one. We got a really good boundary receiver here. 6'2", 209. And look, he's got great body control. Racked up a ton of stats at Indiana this year with Mendoza. Dude's catching like 80% of his passes for first downs. He's got some of those. What is this, an NCAA 26 picture of him?
Yes.
We got I know we've talked about
AI just Sarat.
That's perfect.
AI just Sarat. Amazing.
To
me, there's a little bit of like Devontae Adams vibes here, where we've talked about him a lot, where like he wins with his brain and not pure athleticism. I really like Elijah Sarat. I think he belongs in this tier. I don't think we're looking at an absolute top of the line elite fantasy producer, but he's going to be a very good NFL player and a productive fantasy receiver.
Anybody got rebuttals to this?
No.
I don't. This has always been a 6-man tier for me. Actually, 7.
Yep.
Me too.
Really 7 for me. And so we're just kind of mixing and matching. Schultzy took a guy like, I've grown on Brazell. I have 1 or 2 guys higher than him, but this is a big tier to me because I feel like these guys either miss, like it's aim small, miss small. They're not going to be big busts, I don't think. Whoa, big bust. It's crazy. But I don't think that these guys are just going to get to the NFL and forget how to football. So it feels really safe with all the guys in this tier right here. And that's where the depth of this class comes in.
Totally.
And people we were a few months ago, you had all those dipshits saying that this class was terrible and there weren't any good players. And now look at this. Like there's not the Malik Neighbors and Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Roma Dunzes and all that stuff from this class, but these are really good football players that are going to play on Sunday for a long time.
Yep.
All right, Schultzy, you got another pick here. Do you want to add?
Yeah, so I like this guy as well. He's like a very back end tier 2 for me guy, but I feel very similar about him as I do Sarat, that what Chev just said, this is going to be a good NFL player, and it's going to translate to some fantasy success in some form. And I like Jacoby Lane. I feel similarly like a boundary guy. He's just a good football player, man. We got catch radius, great hands. He can go up in the air and make a catch on a guy. He tested great at the combine, 9.69 RAS. 12 touchdowns back in 24. That number dipped this year, and a lot of that's probably Makai Lemmon. And then same thing, back to 24. Jacoby Lane posted a season with over 3 yards per route run. He's 21 years old still, so he's entering his, well, I guess it'll technically be his age 22 season because the season will kick off in September. Regardless, he's 21 now, turning 22. He's still very young. He's just a good football player. I like Jacoby Lane.
Love it. Love the pick. Totally agree.
He is outside of this tier for me, but it's getting pretty wide. I mean, depending on where it cuts off. So I'm going to be patient with it. If that's Chev, what are your thoughts on Lane?
This was the guy I wanted in the tier when Chris Brazell was brought up.
There it is.
The ceiling for him, the flashes, if he gets it together. Now I'm making this pick in rookie drafts with the intention and the expectation that he's gonna be a year 1-0, because I think he should have gone back to school, but the ceiling for Jacoby Lane is somewhere between T. Higgins and prime Alshon Jeffrey. Like, I can't see it. And it's the massive catch radius, it's the athleticism. I think Alshon Jeffrey ran a 4.46 and had like almost 11-inch hands. I think Jacoby Lane was 10 and 5/8 with a 4.47 and a 40-inch vertical.
The vert and broad jump he smashed.
Yeah. And so, we have this he's still raw. He's still a developmental prospect, in my opinion. But if I can get him in the second round of rookie drafts, he's cheaper. Him and Elijah Sarat are much cheaper clicks than anybody else in this tier right now. So I wanted him in this tier. I'm in agreement and alignment with this. And now whenever it's my turn, I'm going to have to pick somebody else because that's who I was going to say.
All right. Okay. So we're in alliance here. Okay. So we're going to keep Jacoby Lane in this tier. And now, bigz, I could probably already start sliding your guy in here. And
there are two more guys that I think have an opportunity to impress the team and jump into the top 50. But on this one, looking at the two guys, I'm a little bit more confident in Chris Bell. You got the last name right.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a biscuit.
I love Chris Bell too. He was my guy. I just thought that bigz was a big Skyler Bell guy. So
I am, but he's a tier down.
All right, talk about Chris Bell.
So Chris Bell from Louisville, another big body guy. This draft is like rife with them. 6'2", 220 pounds. He's got size, he's got strength, he's got route run ability, he's got good hands, he's got speed. He's an elite run after the catch player. So he's a yak god. He jumps off the tape. And I tend to watch a lot of football with my back turned. So I know that doesn't do well for, tape grinding and stuff like that, but I have football on in the background at work all day, or I'm watching it at home, I'm on my phone. So the broadcasters are like filling my ears. And when a Louisville game is on, I just keep hearing Chris Bell's name all the time. When I turn to the TV and look, I really like what he puts on tape. it's obviously the injury. I think he's a top pick here. And
certainly a guy that I'm really high on. He's my wide receiver 8 in this class, and probably would be a lot higher than that had he not been injured. And I think teams know that, and I think he's going to get good draft capital. It may not be right away because obviously he's going to be maybe missing a game or two and having some, growing pains getting assimilated to the lineup there. But I think that this guy has got every, people were comparing him to the AJ Browns of the world here, and he's not far off from what I see on tape. So yeah, I like this quite a bit here. He certainly, definitely, in my opinion, needs to be in this tier.
Dude, do y'all remember Quincy and Nunwa?
Yes.
That's who Chris Bell reminds me of. Like, just stylistically, the physicality, the build up speed, the complete package in terms of creating after the catch. I struggle with comparing people to AJ Brown just because that immediately people jump to what he's been as a wide receiver, not realizing that he landed in an optimal situation for him to do that. So I don't want to create that expectation for people, but stylistically, yes, it's the same thing. It's somewhere between Xavier Legette and AJ Brown is what, that's the range of outcomes we're looking at. And so that's a little scary because there doesn't really offer you a floor, but bigz, you cooked with this one.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. He was my guy.
And if we're talking rookies, I have no problem with people talking good things about Xavier Legette.
He's an angry runner with the ball in his hands too.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to punish you. That's the scary part. It gets so aggressive because you see Debo, you see AJ Brown, you see all these guys that absolutely want to embarrass you when they get the ball in their hands. It's not like I want to go out of bounds. It's like, no, bro, I'm going to run through your chest like I'm prime Mike Allstott. It's like, calm down, bro. You're supposed to be like tweeting about, falling knives and all that crazy stuff that receivers do. So, yeah.
So based on that, and based on the fact that Mike said it might take a little while, I'm seeing like a Jack Besh career arc where he does all the blocking downfield. He's got the size. He likes to punish people. He's great with yak, but it's not necessarily going to pop in the first year. It could. It might not.
Yeah. Second half, maybe. It depends on his, the need for him in the lineup, right? Yeah. I'm going to try and sneak another guy in this tier. I'm going to do it. And maybe with some backlash, but I think Germie Bernard needs to be in this tier. That was my other guy. Yeah, I think for me, I think just what I saw at the combine and what he's done at Alabama as a key piece there, his ball skills, his after the contact physicality, and the production in a loaded room translate to probably a very solid floor despite his top end speed. I got him ranked, as my wide receiver 10 in this class, right ahead of Skyler Bell, who I thought bigz might have been, pretty savvy on making this tier. But I think this is probably, for me, where I need to be at as the tier break. And then I got Skyler Bell just slightly under this tier, like bigz mentioned. So I think the ball skills are there. The after the contest, he's got the contested catch, specialist. He's got that yak ability. He's very physical as well. Very reliable hands, and I think the toughness leading Alabama in receptions as well. So you can't undermine that. So I think this is going to be a really good red zone boundary presence, and I think he's going to bring multiple touchdown games to the table. So yeah, I like myself some Germie Bernard in this tier. Anybody think that that's a bad move?
No, I think we talk a lot about the Brian Hartline pipeline through Ohio State, and something that kind of gets missed, something that I touched on way back when I was doing those dual articles. Remember that, Mike, when we first got started?
Yes.
And I had Jalen McMillan and Rome Odunze. Denzel Boston has gone through the Washington pipeline. Germie Bernard went through the Washington pipeline. Jalen Polk went through the Washington pipeline. Rome Odunze and Jalen McMillan. We tend to try and stay away from helmet scouting, but sometimes that helmet scouting leads you to some pretty special people. And I had higher hopes for Germie Bernard than actually played out at Alabama, but still like him, and I would have had him in this tier.
Anybody? Are we good for a tier break here, guys? Or does anybody want to like Chev? Are you going to sneak somebody into this one, or are you good with a tier break and we can unanimously move on to tier 3?
Yeah, let's move on.
Agree.
Schultzy? All right.
Yeah,
Tier 3 it is. All right, let's move down to tier 3. All right, now Chev, you got a double pick again to start the tiers, man. What great coincidence that is. So talk about who you want to see in this tier for sure, because I think this tier can really open up. This will be the tier that we end up with. Maybe we'll fit, we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead. Let's not stand on ceremony here. Ted Hurst.
Yes.
Yeah. Get him on there. Get him on the screen.
Make him big.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Bigger.
More Ted. More Ted.
I got a fever. And the only cure is more Ted Hurst. And so I have been ever since I was just preparing for a college football recap show, and I was watching Vanderbilt. And they were playing Georgia State, and I kept thinking to myself, like, man, it'd be cool if I could find like a cool name to take away from this Georgia State team. I know there's probably nothing going on here. I'm just kind of wish casting, just wanting to see something pop off the tape. And then Ted Hurst emerged from the heavens, and it's been burned into my brain ever since. And so I've been here. He's verified everything that we want to see. He's got the crazy ball tracking ability that you really want, even bigger. I want the whole screen to just be Ted Hurst's mustache.
I don't know if
I don't know if I have the power. I can't do it, Captain. So, but in all you don't have to actually make it a mustache. So with Ted Hurst, you've got a crazy catch radius. You've got the athlete. You've got the yards after the catch ability. You have him being coached by an NFL staff that think that he could end up being the best wide receiver they've coached. It's Hugh Jackson, who coached Chad Ochocinco and TJ Houshmandzadeh, and Damian Craig, who's coached at Auburn and other places. And this staff just believes that he could be the best one out of all of them because of his football IQ and then the things that he puts on tape. So if you're not familiar with Ted Hurst, just go type him in on YouTube. It sounds like a really boring name, but I promise you there's nothing less than stellar about this profile. So this has been, I wanted to get him into that tier, but honestly, we're not going to have to spend that type of capital on Ted Hurst because people are just going to be like, well, if he goes inside the top 60 picks, here are the group of 5 receivers that were, it's group of 4 now. Here are the group of 4 receivers that have gone inside the top 50 picks and what they've done. And outside of Cortland Sutton, it's a really rough run out. Shut up and watch him play football. I'm tired of you nerds ruining the fun, talking about all this nonsense without actually watching football. So go watch Ted Hurst and shut up about it.
All right. I had a question about Ted Hurst.
He's famously not the lead singer of Limp Bizkit.
That's
Fred Durst.
I saw Hurst mocked to the Raiders in round 3, and I messed my pants.
Did you shart or shum?
Yep.
Now, do you know, Chev? You know a lot about Ted Hurst. Now, this is a question that maybe only some knowledgeable ball knowers know, and I assume you do. Is his first name Theodore? Because it should be.
One thing that ball knowers know is that Georgia State has talent.
One thing that I am not certain of is what name is on his birth certificate. I can get that. Ironically enough, I can get that information for you.
Because his name would be so much cooler if it was Theodore Hurst, and I bet you he'd be round 1 capital.
Man, if his name was,
It's just straight up Ted.
Yeah, if his name was Dougluster P. Hot Dunkachud the fourth, we would be talking about him in tier 1, bro.
All right. I don't know.
Conversation with Robert Henry a few weeks ago. I think Chev said if his name was like Telemachus P. Touchdown or something like that.
Hey, Telemachus P. Touchdown, yeah.
He doesn't even have a middle name.
If Ted Hurst was Telemachus wide receiver touchdown maker, he'd be up there with Makai Lemmon. I'm trying to tell you.
I can't even find a middle name for Ted Hurst. So it's not short for Theodore. There's nothing in the middle. It's just Ted Hurst.
No, that's boring. All right, Chev. Talk about another guy that you need to get in this tier.
Talk about another guy. All right, so I'm gonna leave the money on the table for you boys, and I'm gonna go with my selected speed demon, who is way outside of the normal lexicon of receivers that I like, but I'm going Brenen Thompson here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Brenen Thompson here. So I have absolutely fallen in love with Brenen Thompson over the course of the last month and a half. And I think the best thing that I could do for myself was watching his film before he ran the 4.26. So I had all my notes together, so I wasn't going to double count him being fast. Because if you watch him play football, you know that this dude is super fast. And it's not just, let us hand him the ball or do gadget stuff. No, he had a 32.5 ADOT versus man coverage this year. Okay. He averaged 30 yards of reception versus man coverage this year. Like, this is a guy who's the type of fast where we look up in a couple years and there's a guy who's averaging like 20 yards of reception. This is where this is headed if it hits. And not only does he have the long speed and the ability, like I said, when we did the show with Mr. Coventry, he has the ability to track the ball over both shoulders. That's something that Xavier Worthy, who runs the fastest 40 of all time, absolutely cannot do under any circumstances. So that's what makes him unique, is that this is a true deep threat. This is a guy who you throw the ball and you see him start running and he starts tracking the ball like a daggum GPS, and then the ball just lands in his hands. We're talking about he put up 1,000 yards on 59 receptions this year, and he left, just from the 4 games that I scouted, he left another 300 to 400 yards in balls just barely going off his fingertips or just barely being out of his reach. So I have some really aggressive visions about Brenen Thompson, and I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down.
Imagine if Marquez Valdez-Scantling caught a pass for once in his life.
Exactly.
He's not Zay Jones, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's more Theodore.
Yes, Olivier.
Noah Theodore Olivier. Ironically enough, there's a tight end from Canada in this draft who we never get to talk about.
I know. It's crazy. He's year after year the top guy, but no one ever talks to him. But
no,
Brenen Thompson,
there's a for real Canadian tight end in the draft this year. This is not a gag, Grindberg. This is serious business.
Sure, Chev. Okay, buddy. Yeah, right.
Who is it, Chev?
Okay, Chev.
Okay, buddy, I believe you.
We'll fall for this one again. No, all right. So let's move on. I'm going to talk about a guy because I think you know what, Brenen Thompson, I think definitely belongs to be in this tier after what he saw, and might be under the radar guy, but that's what we're talking about right now. And maybe my pick might bring maybe a flatline. I don't know, but we shall see. And I'm going to bring in a guy that I'm really high on, and he's been playing a little bit closer to me. If I can just get his.
One of you guys are going to take my last pick.
Who's your last pick? All right, okay. We're going to end the game with okay. We've got one pick from me, and then we'll go with bigz, and then we'll end the show with Schultzy, and then I'm going to put this guy on here, and maybe. All right. I like Bryce Lance. All right. For a number of reasons. He had a very stellar FSC career at North Dakota in 2025. He had 51 receptions, 1,000 yards, and he had another big year in 2024 where he had 159-yard game versus Missouri and a monster 4.34 40-yard dash at the combine. I think this is great measurables for a guy that has got some height to him and some body movement that some people are comparing him to the likes of former North Dakota State guy Christian Watson, and I'm not opposed to that. He's got great size, good speed, the traits for that boundary dominance, and I think he's going to win vertically and downfield. His yards per reception was 21. And he's got some great explosive plays, his physical frame in red zone and contested catch potential, and his athletic testing was elite as well. So, yes, I know he hasn't had that elite competition, but, he certainly showed out in big games, and I love me some Bryce Lance. So let's go. Let's get him in here. I'm hoping he stays in this tier, and we'll see what you guys think about it.
Yeah, I think what we've got is our first tier is day one guys. Our second tier is day 2 and 3 guys, and maybe a day 1 guy. And then here we're starting with our day 3 guys. And I think that Bryce Lance falls into that. He's mocked in the top 100. That's totally fine with me. He's 1 spot ahead of Brenen Thompson, 2 spots behind Ted Hurst. So I think we're in that realm, and I like it.
Chev, are you opposed to this? Do you like Bryce Lance?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot. Now, this is a guy that I regret not getting to his film beforehand because it's hard not to know, this is a dude moving at a high rate of speed and doing all this cool stuff for North Dakota State that just basically wants to run like the split veer option from Herman Boone and Remember the Titans. And he's gone back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. So I liked the advanced analytics, the 6.7 yards after the catch per reception. The 40 first downs in 2025, the 51 first downs in 2024. Everything about Bryce Lance, the only reason that Bryce Lance isn't higher is because he's Trey Lance's little brother.
And he's not in sleeper yet, so he's not getting steam yet. So
I think in Dynasty rookie draft circles, the age of breakout, the age of draft, and the FCS profile, I think those all hurt him. But once you get onto an NFL football field, those things all go away. It's what you can do when you're out there. And he has shown that he can do what it takes when he's out there.
Yes.
All right, bigz. Let's get your last guy on this screen here.
So my last guy is kind of my white whale for this Raiders draft, because there is a Raiders profile at wide receiver that Al Davis carried for quite a while, and including drafting Hall of Famer, this guy's uncle. I'm talking about Zachariah Branch. He grew up in Vegas. He belongs in Vegas. He belongs a Raider. He's a Raider legacy. The kid can play. He can ball, and that's all I want for this draft. Besides not drafting Fernando Mendoza, I want the Raiders to draft Zachariah Branch. They might have to dip into the second round to do it. I don't think he has the skill set or the profile to be a wide receiver 1 for the Raiders, but they're going to have to draft him that way, and I hope that happens.
I will have 0 Zachariah Branch.
Me as well. But you know what? If he can be there for the Raiders, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree him being in this tier, though. I think the speed. Yeah. Did he just walk up when he said that, or?
No, he died.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, okay. Right, Schultzy, finish this show off with a guy that are you staying in this tier? Chev's back. Okay, no, he needs to talk. Let's get him in here. Is he flatlining this? Flatline this.
Hell yes, I'm flatlining this. I am opposing this pick with my entire being.
Okay? I agree. Schultzy.
I'm out on Zachariah Branch too.
There he's gone.
Yes!
He's gone. See ya, buddy.
Get him out of here.
That's all you needed to do, Chev. I was waiting for you to get back, but
no, dude, I've been here the whole time. I just die a little bit every time somebody talks about Zachariah Branch being good for fantasy football. Like if you're in return yardage leagues, Zachariah Branch is going to be the Tremere DK of 2025. If you're at football with it, probably not going to have a quarterback.
I am in return leagues.
Okay, well, this is for the people who play without safe words, okay, bigz?
Okay, so can I get Skyler Bell then?
Absolutely.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
there's Skyler Bell in there, and then Schultzy can finish
Yeah,
us off.
there's no qualms about Skyler Bell. He should have been in here earlier.
Yes. I wanted to leave, I told you I left money on the table for Skyler Bell.
Yeah, of course. Schultzy, let's round out this show because I think there might be one more guy that needs to be in this tier.
Well, if you know me, it's not the guy you think I'm about to say. I got a guy I've been steaming up a little bit and I'm starting to like more, and it's Antonio Williams. So looking at comparing him to the other guys, we hit the 2 yards per route run threshold that we like to see. He's over that. First down per route runs are near the top of the class 2, kind of second tier number, but we love to see the first downs per routes run. Tested solid at the combine, 8.17 RAS, which is knocked like big time by size. Vertical was great, 4.41 140. He was good in the 20-yard split, the 10-yard split. I just like this dude. He's a good route runner, I think. He's got a really good he's really great in zone coverages, finding soft spots. I think he's got good hands. He can run after the catch. I think this is a guy who's made for what the NFL is doing right now, and he's gonna find some success. I like Antonio Williams here.
Anybody?
I have hate watched Antonio Williams for so long now, and there's enough people that I respect in this space saying positive things about Antonio Williams to where I'm going to have to go back. I have to go back over my notes with a fine-tooth comb, Schultzy. I don't like what you're doing here, buddy.
Okay, look, I've seen some really strong stuff on him, like draft, like second round capital, and like I am not there on that. Like I'm cool taking this guy in like the third round of my rookie draft. I think he's got some tools that you can build on. I'm not steaming him up to where I'm saying, like, I think some people are steaming him up to say we could have put him in tier 2, and that's way too far for me. I think this is pretty comfortable.
There's this guy here I would maybe put there instead of Antonio Williams if we were going to cap it, and that's Eric McAllister. I think for me, I think he's a guy that profiles well in this range here, size, speed, all of it. I think he can do a lot of things there. Coin toss here. I think this is really splitting hairs at this stage right now. Branch could be in there. Burks, a guy that really showed out as well at the combine. So what are we thinking here? Are we capping it here? Are we going to finish this show off at Antonio Williams in here? Chev, are you okay with keeping?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like I said, this is Schultzy dropping the Antonio Williams bomb is now, like I said, the fourth person to say, hey, I like this Antonio Williams. And I watched him and I hate watched him, but now I've got to not hate watch him. I've got to watch him with neutral eyes and not hating him.
I would throw Fields, Burks, and was that it?
Yeah, if I had a second pick here, I would have thrown Makai Fields.
Fields, Burks, and Cameron in this tier.
Cameron, okay. Reggie Virgil's a guy that could be mentioned as well. Ty Montgomery, depending as well. There's a lot of question marks, but I think this is a good end here. I think these three, these five, really round out this show quite a bit. So we have, let's go back to tier 1 here, Schultzy. Pretty clear as day. Tier 1 is Makai, Lemmon, Carnell, Tate, and Jordyn Tyson. Then tier 2.
Flatline.
What's your flatline?
Oh.
Just wanted to say it. All right.
Yeah.
Tier 2 got extended here. And we started it with Casey Concepcion. Then we went Omar Cooper. And then Denzel Boston, Chris Brazell, Jacoby Lane, Elijah Sarat, Chris Bell. And then we rounded it off with Germie Bernard. And then tier 3 got interesting when Chev went Ted Hurst, Brenen Thompson. And then I went Bryce Lance. And then bigz got flatlined, getting Zachariah branch out of there for Skyler Bell. And then Antonio Williams finished off this show. Awesome stuff, guys. Great way to get our viewers in tune with these tiers. And there's a lot to process now. And we're going to head them off in good shape. Didn't mention too much about our rookie guide headed into this year, but it just dropped here on FSAN last week. So be sure to check that out on FSN.com. Get your guide, Debbie Dojo, Fantasy Forecast Crew. We busted our balls to get it out, and it is a nice piece of work. So be sure to check it out. And then bigz, like you do so well. Let's get that screen off here, Schultzy, and bring the 4 of us back on. There we go.
Hey, I'm Grindberg.
And I'm Grindberg. And Schultzy's there, and Bodak, Boobiak is there. Love it.
That's right.
All right, bigz, take us home, man.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching the program. If you could, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. Go to FSAN.com. Go to the merch store and cop our rookie guide, 2026 prospect guide. A lot of really good information in there. A lot of hard work went into it, and it's definitely going to help you dominate your Dynasty rookie drafts. Watch the Fantasy Forecast. Put your name in the comments if you're new to Dynasty and you want to get into a Dynasty League with people that hadn't played Dynasty before, just so you can learn how to play the best format for fantasy football. And we hope you win.
Hope you win, folks. See you next week. D-Bro.
We've all been there, watching a can't-miss rookie bust while your rival scoops up the next superstar on waivers. The 2026 class is deep, talented, and full of landmines. Do you know who's actually worth the 101? Stop guessing, start scouting. The Fantasy Sports Advice Network 2026 Rookie Prospect Guide is your blueprint for a dynasty. The experts from the Fantasy Forecast, the Devi Dojo, the Dynasty Pulse have logged the hours so you don't have to. From advanced analytical models to raw film grading, we give you the data that translates to Sunday points. Don't just participate in your draft, dominate it. Download the 2026 guide at FSAN.com today. Your championship starts here.